Blaised. Hey, what's up, everybody? Long time no see. How you been? I haven't seen you guys in so long. Good to see everybody. Tonight's just going to be a little discussion, little round table, just to find out what you guys have done so far, found out so far. Earlier tonight, Triple Beat and Odds did a great show. They talked about their experiences on Showcase and My Rise and stuff like that, and Into Creations as well. So we're going to bring those two on, obviously, first and talk a little bit about we're 1 week into it. Last week, we talked about prepping for this, getting ready for the game. What were we excited about? I have my list of things that were changing or updates. Then I have 2 pages of issues. but they're little pages, and well, there's 3 sides, not all 4. But so when they first announced the game, I started writing stuff down: ambulance match, guest referee, casket, multiplayer backstage brawls. You guys can hear me all right, right? Yeah, all right. More weapons, throwing weapons, updated blood, blow for blow, face paint fading, super finishers, crawl pin animation, ramp camera, double title matches in universe mode, new matches in universe mode, new weapons, create a sign, titles for Rumble matches. So those are all the things we were getting ready for. And obviously we knew there were going to be issues. They put out, the day one patch, and then a patch when they released it to everybody on Friday, which we went over in a stream not too long ago. I'll talk about that here in a second, but I always start the ramble. We got to welcome everybody here first, because it wouldn't be here without you. I want to thank Brian LG for becoming a member earlier in the stream. Appreciate you. And we've been representing all these other channels out there. It's what I love to do, something called The Gathering. I want to go quickly. I said I wasn't going to have a slideshow now, but I got a slideshow. Just a little one. Just a little one. John Breakdown is in the house. Good to see you. BCW, he runs his own federation. Triple Beat, obviously, running his own company as well. Jesse Jackhammer does his thing on his channel. Wally, one of the most loyal followers in all of YouTube. Appreciate him for all these years. And of course, Dad Jokes. Did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers? They say he made a mint. Only certain ones are mints, though. Most of them are candy. Like, right? Am I right? There's the wintergreen and the orange mint. Those are mints. And the rest of them are candy. They're not mints. I guess they can. Monstar's ready to get Blaised. You have the link if you want to come in. I know Monstar's been like 14, 15 hours on the Women's My Rise trying to complete it or something like that. Maybe he'll stop in and give us details on, what he thinks about it so far. We got Matt Storm, who does his own thing. BC. What does that stand for? I forgot to ask you what it stands for. You told me once, but I forget. Matt Storm runs BCW. Chuck is in the house. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it. Look at saying hi to everybody. I love that. Andy Price is in the building from the other side of the planet. And I did drop the link in all the private chats if anybody wants to come on and share their experiences. This is strictly for the game. Save your LTD promos and stuff like that for next Sunday, because I just scheduled another Get Blaised. Oh, Get Blaised burp. I just scheduled another Get Blaised podcast 1 week from tonight, around the same time, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to try to do it. They have the real March Madness selection show that night. The boys from the Hardcore Sports Network will be streaming that. But I'll talk about our version here in a second. Azrael's in the house, obviously the owner of APW. Bill, I haven't seen you, Bill, in so long, man. It's been like an hour. And we were hanging out on TJ's stream. A bunch of us were hanging out on Doc's stream. Vince McSham is live doing it. I dropped him the link when he's done if he wants to stop in. So what we're doing here is something we should have done 6 years ago when I started doing this. I didn't realize how many content creators I'd get to know and get to love and be a part of the community. But now I think it's very important that we share our best practices and our bitches and gripes. I want to give a shout out to Defract on Twitter X. He put out a nice little post when it first came out. Put your issues here. He's going to report them. He's a great content creator too. There's so many that are, shout out to Dre Gaming 41. I've been in contact with him and stuff. Great content creators all over the place that have just jumped into creations because it's a new game. However, those who have really been into creation, eFed, SimFed stuff know hashtag wait to create. I've been saying it. I mean, I've done a couple pieces of creation, and we'll go over that here soon. But wait to create is something that a lot of us learn the hard way. I can give you probably, I don't have enough fingers on my hands to count how many people we won't even count 2K20, 22, 23 that have experienced loss of data, glitches, and losing all your progress in certain modes or your creations. Whenever 20 was done, when 22 came out, everything I created, I immediately uploaded to Community Creations because I was afraid something would glitch out and lose all your shit. But at the same time, if they fix a certain thing and you download your community creations that you created, it's a big jumbled mess. So we got to work around all these things to make this game work the way we want it to work. I can't slow down. I just chugged a bunch of iced coffee. JW, how you doing, bro? Welcome in. William Styles is in the building. Good to see you, my man. You got a big title fight this weekend. Check out the replay from yesterday. About changing it to Broken City. Cool. That works. Next shift? Unless there's another Randy Genero out there. I don't know, my brother. Next shift, I believe that's him. Good to see you. I'm not going to call you Randolph, though. But you can call me Pops or Dad. I adopted everybody in my stream earlier tonight. Shitstorm. You should call your show Shitstorm. Shitstorm Wrestling. Oh, Shitstorm just lit a table. I will talk about that. I saw Pete Wall was streaming last night, and they did the blow for blow. AI did it. I was like, yes, yes, yes. I started yes chanting. So the blow for blow thing, I was really looking forward to because that, like we've always talked about, brings realism. We were talking, I'll talk to Beaten Odds in a minute here about some of the things you can unlock in my Rise and stuff like that we went through. The night one, went through everything, looked at the unlockables, and there are a million WrestleMania arenas, which I'll never use. Many people will. Triple Beat's got a fantabulous idea about using those. Yes, I said fantabulous. And there's about 10 features for attire, and that's about it. There's like a suit thing, a pair of fucking jeans that you can make, and this weird looking shawl looking thing. So it's not that much. So I personally am not going to use any of that for LTD. There are some supernatural things that you can I think Shitstorm Wrestling would be funny for Matt Storm's show, by the way. A lot of things that this game is giving us that there's supernatural elements to, I'll say that much for those who haven't done the My Rise and whatnot. And I'll never use those. We've actually banned the big super punch and the weird things that were in 23 that were kind of supernatural because I want to bring photo TV realism to my show. Yes, it's pre-apocalyptic, about 50 years or so into the future type shit. But I want you guys to feel like you're watching a TV show. It's a game. Shit will go wrong. Yep. The problem is, Bill, that tons of shit is going wrong in this game. Compared to other games, a lot has gone wrong in the last few games. Plus, when they patch something, they break other things. And things that were working in 23 are not in 24. I'll get to that in my rant soon. Things that were working that we had in 19, we didn't have in 22. Or, like the next button in universe mode. That's all I want. Next match. So you don't see the match card coming ahead. Jesse Jackhammer. Hey, man, never worry. We got John Breakdown in the house. I see how the content creators are kind of shy to jump in and talk about the game. Hey, it's okay. I got the three Cosketeers here. We can definitely talk our fucking asses off for 18 hours. I want to try to keep this between an hour and 2 hours, though. I know I'm already at almost 15 minutes of me rambling, and I haven't even got to my two guests who we're all three talkers. We're big talkers. And that's, if you're a content creator, that's a good thing, especially if you're a commentator. But we do it respectfully. We have a lot of respect for so many different content creators, how you do your job, how you run. And it's a job. I said it's an art form on the last show. And I got a lot of people, reiterating that saying that it is an art form. If you know all the things that let me give you an example. I don't want anything WWE on my screen if I can help it. So anybody's entrance trons that have names on them, I went through every entrance and wrote down AJ, blue background, Asuka, fire background. Each individual, you're not gonna be able to see it that good, But these are all the entrances where the Minitron is just colors, no names. However, select different Minitrons and the fucking name comes out. For Blaised in 23, Akira Tozawa had really cool fire. I didn't want to use Kane for everything because Blaze McCoy, the fire thing. So I did Akira Tozawa. Then I saw someone show and it says fucking Akira Tozawa behind me, and I can't stand that. Some people that doesn't matter. To me, it kind of matters. I want it if I can help it, you know. There's Daniel Berry. Good to see him. If I can help it, I want it to be as TV. Even like some of the arenas have a little WWE logo in the back on the wall. I don't fucking want that. Let me change it. I haven't tested out all creations at all. I have not created a wrestler yet. I have not created a championship. I have not created a sign, which I'm really looking forward to. Hope it works. I did create one arena, and we'll talk about that here momentarily before I bring my friends on. They still messing with streamers? I don't know what I mean. Elaborate there, Bill. What do you mean messing with us? I know wrestling content doesn't get put out that much. Wrestling video game content does not get put out that much. When I first started YouTube and I researched it, it falls into like, hey, there's Gab. It falls into the category of brutality and fighting and stuff like that, where they don't push it out as much as like a baseball or a football game they would. Yeah, you can definitely make an announcement, Azrael. Azrael's pregnant, everybody. Azrael is pregnant. You miss me rambling. That's what I do the first 15 minutes, Rose. You miss me just rambling for 15 minutes. Oh, well, if you show the very beginning of the game, you're probably going to get copywritten. The very beginning of the game, today to now, yesterday, all day later, and tomorrow, that thing. If you show that, I've seen people, it'll get restricted in certain countries. So I've seen that. As far as copywriting streamers, when you do the showcase, I know people will take out the videos because if they show live action videos of WWE content, yes, that's also frowned upon still, which is understood. That's another reason why I want, video, from a showcase, definitely. See, great minds think alike. Except for Gav. But now Gav's mind has got into Triple Beat's mind, and he wants to be friends with that Rex punkhead. He's a simp. He's the new sympathizer. Attica doing creation stream. Oh, cool. So I did the wait to create. I told people hold off because even some of the biggest content creators were like, I started seeing stuff on X already. They're like, here's a new character. Brock Lesnar. People were creating Brock because he's not in the game. Real quick on the Brock Lesnar stuff. They took him out of the company, or so we thought, because of the allegations. They never said that. No one ever said that. He's rumored to come back now, but will he be in the game? Music as well was so that's why first thing I do when I got this game, turn the blood on, turn the music off, I used commentators for some of my stuff, but whatever, Gav. Yeah, he's gonna take your partner. Beetle is a Rex simp. Odds is proclaiming it now. All right, let me do my little slideshow, and then we'll bring people on. We'll bring on Odds and Triple B first. And anybody out there, if you guys, Gav, I know you started creating early. You're more than welcome to pop in. Anybody else that's out there willing or want or have been working on stuff or have something to share, this is the time. I know it's only a week into it. I know I've been telling people not to create, but now we're going to talk about creations. That's because I know some people have been creating, but no one's listening. You know, some people, you guys, but there's other people out there that won't listen to me. Don't listen to Blaze. Who cares? You know, there was an ambulance glitch. It'll never happen to me. There's a glitch with creating arena. It'll never happen to me. I can get around it. There's a problem with universe. It never happens to me. There was a problem with logo limit on call. Who cares? I'm going to do it now. Don't worry about a patch. We've already experienced problems with people. Yes, the creator safe mode, which you have to turn on, is something that can help too. And I believe that takes the entrance music out and stuff like that, so you don't get copywritten. But I turn all that shit off anyway because, you know, as far as the announcements, I want to do the ring announcements. I want to do that as well. A ruthless sign. No! So yeah, shout out you and you guys in the chat, please. Any feedback you have on the game, this is the show to do it. We have over 30 different content creators that have a character in LTD, plus about 10 other channels that do other things. So why not use the community? And I used to say, let's put unity into the community, but we have it. We already have it. So let's keep the unity in the community. All right, so let's get into some stuff. We're going to talk about creations, week 1 update. What I want to talk about is what have you done so far? What do you like? What do you don't like? What have you created? So what have you discovered? This is the discovery process here. After week 1, why not share our trials and tribulations, our successes and our failures, so we can help each other out. There's a couple stubborn motherfuckers out there. I love you to death, but they won't listen to me. They don't care what Blaze has to say. What does Blaze know? He's just some schmuck that does his own thing. No, I respect everybody and how they run their shows, and I want to help you, even if you've been doing this longer than me. Vince McSham, who was on last week's show, he's done this for 20 years. He's been E-Fed streaming, mostly WWE wrestlers and stuff like that, but he goes old school with WCW, WCCW, and stuff like that. He's been doing E-Fed, SimFed for 20 years. It's insane. Like, what game was out 20 years ago? Whatever wrestling video game there was, he was streaming it. And that's just insane. So I want to pick his, as much as me and him bump heads, we don't agree on shit. He can't stand AEW. I enjoy it. All this crazy stuff. You're in the Hall of Fame, Bill. That's the only part of Ruthless that's ever made. Wait a minute. Yeah, you can represent Ruthless in the Great Hall. Forge your career path with 80 rewards to be unlocked, including arenas, paybacks, entrance, my faction cards, and championship belts. Between the Stu stories, there are over 6 hours of dialogue and voice. You're talking about My Rise, I take it. Has to be My Rise. Probably be Day of Reckoning or SmackDown versus Raw, yeah. But Vince, I dropped in the link. He was live when I went live, so he might be later on. He might be in later on. So I wanted to do something creative with testing the game. I wanted to see if tag matches were better. I wanted to see if 6-man tags were better, or the ladder matches better, or the Hell in a Cell matches better. I haven't done Hell in a Cell and ladder matches yet, but we'll do that. But when this patch came out, man, we can bitch about patch notes being very vague because they don't give you any detail. It's like, fixed a bunch of crashes, fix stuff in universe mode, but this time they actually fixed specific problems Xbox users couldn't get into CC at all, community creations. So I saw that over and over. That was fixed. The logo limit, where you use duplicate logos and it counted towards you, and people were only getting 16 images on a call. That's the only time I'll use call, when I'm literally talking about Create a Wrestler. Because for those that don't know, I call it digital wrestling. Create a Wrestler is what we do. Digital wrestling is what we are. And that's how I look at it. Call it whatever you want, E-Fed, SimFed. I coined it digital wrestling, and the Digital Wrestling Syndicate, with the logo you see there, that's anybody who streams this shit. It's not only the ones that are in my company and surrounding areas. I wanted to create a community with anybody who uses the 2K game to create E-Feds. I always discredit the IWC for being a community, because if you look at the literal definition of community, the second definition, it's people working together. And the internet wrestling community doesn't work together. They're just all bitching and complaining about everything. When these patch notes came out, I saw it as a sign for something positive. They're already working on creations. In the previous games, sometimes it wasn't until patch 10 or 11 where they fixed some of the creation issues we were having. And they fixed some of the universe mode stuff. I wish I could get a hold of someone and say, can you do these couple real easy things in universe mode? I'm not asking for the world. I'm just asking for, let me control the rivalry actions a little more. Let me tell you when they are and not show them. Let me tell you when a promo comes out, or a cash in, or something like that. And give me a next match button, for fuck's sake. So in testing all this stuff, it came to me in a dream. This came to me while I was live night 1. I went live on midnight night 1, and I was like, if I'm going to test out all these matches, and I was surprised how many people came into the live chats. I was very blessed. And I thought, Let's make it interesting. Avatars. Back in the eFed days, everyone used an avatar. Blaze McCoy, I used Chris Jericho is one of my avatars. So everyone started. I said, everyone in the chat, as soon as you come in the chat, pick an avatar. Pick a wrestler on the game that you want to represent your character. And the next thing you know, it started blowing up. Look how many avatars we have. Over 50 people have given me their avatar. And when I test matches out, I'll do some match cards, championship matches and stuff like that. And you might win. Oh, you don't want green skin? Wally's. Oh, you're gonna. I remember when I forget which movie it was, Avengers, I think, when Hulk was like in between the Hulk and Bruce Banner. So I get it. We can do that. Yeah, I'll be getting a hold of everybody who I create. AWF became a thing. You're right. So for those that don't know, I'll be creating Bone Dog and Hot Cheese. I'll be creating Cowboy John, unless Cowboy John beats me to it. I'll be creating Matt Outlaw, Wally, Leo and Teddy, Marley Good, Leo Angel, Austin Bagwell, Brother Chuck, Mitch Kosky, or whatever he's naming his character. He might come up with a name. And Missy Harris, Cassie Madam Red, Cassie and Shifty we're going to do a live creation stream. I don't think it's safe just yet to start creating a bunch of cause. It's close though. They fixed some of it, and I'm almost there. I know some people are starting, and that's fine. I mean, I kind of want to wait for one more patch and see if they patch some more of the creation stuff. Mitch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids. Yep, that's what I called him. J Dog's in the house, another creator. So this really blew up. I can't thank you guys enough for how much this shit really makes me happy that you guys are enjoying everything that we're doing here as we test matches. And I'm going to do the same thing for anybody who else wants to come in. Last week, I had all three of us on and just had us chit chat. Tonight, I'm going to do my spiel. I'm going to have Beat come on or Odds and have them talk about their experiences. And then if anybody else pops in the green room, we'll do that. So the custom save feature in Creator Wrestler, I haven't done a Creator Wrestler yet. But that's something that really hopefully can help us out a lot. The ramp camp, I was frustrated because some matches aren't in the ramp camp for some reason. Like I'm in universe mode and I got a ramp camp for match 1, then standard cam for match 2. And I'm like, I hope if that's a glitch they can fix, that'd be nice. But we'll see. I heard reports of the blood not dripping or being in puddles, but then I saw it on a couple streams. So hopefully maybe patch 3 fix that. The arena logo resizing was fixed. This is just my list of issues that I'm going through. And of course, right on top, I wrote, I want to discuss the game and not get disgusted. The guest refs thing, I'm a little in the air about it because I don't play the game. Like for those that record matches and stuff, oh man, they can do some fun stuff with Create a Ref. But me, I can't play the fucking game. I don't want to. I have no desire to. And I was hoping that you can just plug in anybody as the ref, but you can only do the special guest ref match. Now you can set it for different scenarios of one-on-one, but it's just one-on-one. And if you're not controlling the ref, they kind of just stand there. They'll do the counts. They'll check for the, the count outs and stuff, but they normally just stand there, man. And I don't know. Let's move on here to the next thing. The Gathering. We'll talk more about some of the things I was thought were issues, and some of them aren't. There was a tag team glitch that I see off and on. It's hit or miss. When you make a tag team and put a manager on it, one person comes out with the manager, then the other person comes out. But then again, a lot of the tag teams that are preset in the game, when you get it, they seem to come out together. But then I've seen it hit or miss on different channels. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But yeah, that sucks. I saw Vince McSham of one. I said, I saw it on a different channel. I was like, make a tag team, add a manager, and see if they come out together. And sure as hell, one guy came out with the manager, then the other guy came out. Now, hopefully that's something they could patch, because if you're looking for a real a realistic show, that's not very realistic. Although at WrestleMania Night 1, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a tag match with 4 separate entrances because Cody and Seth will come out alone, and I'm sure Rock and Roman will come out alone. But that's not what we want for the game. So the gathering, this is what I was talking about, all the different people, and we're going to talk just briefly about LTD before we go on. All these different companies, man. I can't explain how blessed I am to have so many people and their creations part of my show, and this is how I want to honor them. Yes, it's a pain in the ass every time someone has a match to go find their channel, copy the link, put it in the chat, but you guys are hopefully gaining 1 or 2 subscribers here and there from the community, and that's what I want to do. So the gathering has been a hit. It was supposed to end this weekend. However, we got March Madness coming up, and I forgot to update. This will be a selection show. Next Sunday, we'll spin the wheel. We'll have people pick. We'll do the matchups for the first round. 32 singles matches for men, 12 for the ladies. Some of the ladies will get buys into the next round based on how I'll do a challenge website so we can track it. I figured since I don't want to rush creating characters, because even when I start creating them, if I start overloading with people, and if you got some creations up on community creations already, even if I start downloading them, I don't want to go custom creations yet. So I figured let's stick with 2K23, and do one big March Madness tournament, which in college basketball, it's March Madness anywhere. So next Sunday, we'll be live for the selection. I said $1 million for each one too. Yeah, just like basketball, March Madness. That selection show will be going on at the same time we are. So we got our own Kitch Mothskison. Easy for you to say, Monstar. Holy yeah. But I'm looking forward to that, involving you guys in some more things. And that's it. I told you it was a short slideshow. But I just wanted to cover the patches, the patch, the AWF, and what we're doing with the gathering for next week. Create everything first, then start downloading. Yeah. I can get back to my stuff first before we get into everything. Let's see. I covered the expectations, the things we were waiting for. I covered all the entrances that OCD went through and marked down, so I can try to make everyone's entrances. Like if you send me your create a wrestler with WWE, the default behind your character, I'm changing it. Of course, I'll find your color scheme and give you a different background that matches it. And they did add, I got to say this, I kind of like this. I like it and don't like it. For the arena movies, they've added all the wrestlers' videos. So you can use the wrestlers' videos and the generic videos that they have, like the Stars and Stripes and stuff like that, for any part. And for entrances, they have the generic videos for your entrance. So back in the day, it's something that they should have probably done for years, because it makes sense to give those. But there are, like 15 people that have the WWE logo as the generic, as their Tron. And I'm like, well, like if they set the entrance motion for Jerry the King, well, Jerry has, that's a bad example. So whatever wrestler has the WWE thing in their name in the back, if you set your entrance and just do default for all that person, it's going to have the Trons that don't match up. But that's why I do this with the color schemes. Match the color scheme up to your character and make it look like it would be if it was your character. So let me get into this. I decided to create an arena last night. And I did Fantasy Action Wrestling, which is our mix of created characters and real life characters. Fantasy Action Wrestling, I did the FAW Time Machine Arena. I've uploaded 200 images. I went through my hard drive, searching for all the images for the title belts that I create, all the images for the arenas that I create, and all the images for the cause that I create. So I uploaded 200 images in the last couple days. Now, I know in past games, we've had that 500 limit thing where I tried to standard 500 because it was glitching the game. Hopefully that's not an issue this year, and we can go up to 1,000. I know we were talking on Beating Odds stream earlier that odds will overload with images too. So basically what we do to this game is take the creation suite and test the shit out of it, overload it to what it's not meant to do. This game is not meant to have custom cause, custom arenas, custom logos, custom entrances, everything custom. It's not made for everything custom, but that's what we do. It's made for people to play the WWE characters. So we are pushing it to the limit of this game. Cut entrance videos are cool, but aren't you only allowed to do like 20 videos or something like that? You're only limited to so many custom videos. So if I do, like, it'd be cool to do for Shifty when Shifty comes out, but I don't use the Trons for the Titantron. I use whatever the show logo is, and I really like doing that. Instead of having a video of Goldberg spearing someone when someone's coming down the ring, I have the custom logo. So here's what I experienced in Create an Arena last night. You cannot tile images on the barricade, and I'm pissed about that, because the first thing I would do is take a custom image and tile it on the barricade. If there's a way to do it, I haven't found it. I know you can go to you can only use from the corner. You can use custom image. It's really weird. You can go to the corner and use a pattern. I'm sorry. If you go to the corner and use a pattern, it'll cover the whole barricade. I want the whole barricade covered with custom images. And it used to give you the option to tile a custom image all across the barricade. I couldn't find it. It doesn't exist. If it does, now you can take the patterns that are in the game, like the blood pattern or the star pattern, and put that on your whole barricade. But I want a custom image. Like I take a pre-apocalyptic wasteland looking picture and plaster it so it looks like the city all around the barricade. It's not letting me do that. The stage Trons are fucking really weird to move. Like I couldn't move it up, or some of them I couldn't move left and right. You have to like L2 to go to different stages to be able to move it. And it's really a pain in the ass because a lot of the Titantrons, it keeps saying invalid location. Like you have to really fuck with it to try to find a location. Another thing, when I select something, I think it was the Minitron, it shows me the fucking ring. And I have to go to auto camera and focus it back up. That was frustrating. You cannot change the color on the top of the announce table. You can only put a logo on it. I tried. I couldn't find. If there's ways around any of this stuff, please, if they fix it or you guys found a way, that's why we're doing this stream. Yeah, there are some changes in the controls that for Create an Arena. Now, there are some things like how you add an image and stuff, which is kind of cool. But so the barricade corner image, I could not move it left and right. Only make it bigger or move it up and down. So you know how, and this is my OCD, you put something in one corner and it automatically puts it in the other. I would adjust them so it would be perfect on both sides. And right now, one image is here and the other one's kind of off a little bit. And you can't move it. The only thing I'd let me do is enlarge it and move it up or down. I could not move the corner image left or right. It stayed right in that spot. I can work with that. I hope if they fix the color on the top of the announce table, that would be great. Because I went in last night and I was like, why can't I put color on the top of, I could put an image and I could stretch out the image. The image problem for Create an Arena has been fixed. So aprons you can cover. Obviously in the ring, I have to, because I'm using the ramp cam, you put the logo down in the ring mat and you got to turn it. Now I can turn it, but I can't move it left or right. It only goes turn and make it bigger. You can't move it left or right. It's a little frustrating. And a lot of you guys out there that'll add an image and just make it the whole mat, I mean, I haven't tried that yet. I just made a blue mat and covered and put a logo in the middle. But obviously, you want to rotate it. So if you're using the ramp cam, the logo looks right. So now I'm worried if I do that and the universe mode wants to say, fuck you, ramp cam, and go the other way, then the logo is going to be sideways. And that'll drive me nuts. When you do a match with a custom arena and the city pops up and it's supposed to have the arena logo in it, it's not in there. There's no arena logo. So I used a custom logo and the city Pittsburgh comes up and there's a little hole where your custom logo is supposed to be. It's empty. Now that I think we had that problem last year and they fixed it, but that's frustrating because and I'm using 512 by 512s. Maybe if you use the bigger, maybe 1024 by 512 will work or something. I don't know. But right now there's no logos and Beat is shaking his head no. So it doesn't. Yeah, so it's the same 22. But some of mine did work in 22. Oh, 23. I'm sorry. That's 2 games ago. You're right. It wasn't work there. What's up, Fiery Death? Good to see you, man. Titantron. If I set the Titantron and lower it, when I go into gameplay, it's back up top. So, and I know maybe certain Titantrons will work better, but I found the same Titantron and I found a way to lower it so it's right over the Minitron. And then as soon as I go to play a match, boom, it's back up top. So there's this big fucking gap between my Minitron and my Titantron, and you don't see the Titantron when they're walking down the ring. That's frustrating. Wrestling Mama, how you doing? My thoughts, you have the ramp camp on your custom logo, on your trim. No, I'm talking about the mat. I'm talking about the mat, Gav. I'm talking about on the mat, in the middle of the mat. Now, this is not really a glitch, but I kind of understand it. When you're showing the ramp cam, the Trons don't move. Like if you have videos on the Trons, they stop. That's probably because you got more things in motion. You can have up to 8 wrestlers in the ring moving around. That happens with the sign on the side of the ring too. If you have a video playing, it'll stop whenever the match is actually going on. And that's all my complaints for Create an Arena. Very frustrating to try to work around some of this stuff. The way it works, the way you plug it in. I should have, if we do this maybe next week or something, what I need to do is have Triple Beat send him the code so he can share his screen here and we can see, because I don't have 24 for the PC to be able to share it here. And I don't know if him from the back, if he can share his screen unless he's part of the, because if he goes to present, I don't know if he can share. Can you share your screen?
I can try. Let me open up OBS real quick.
Everybody, that was an informal invitation.
Hey guys, let me see if I can pull my
actually
OBS up real
just
quick.
go to. I don't know if you're not the host. If you can hit, I think you can still hit present.
I can still present. I just need to open. I need to open up a projector real quick.
I mean, if we don't have to do it this time, we can just talk because if we do it next time, I just thought about that. Like, it'd be cool to see some of these issues that we're having, like in Create an Arena.
I have a Create an Arena open right now, actually.
Okay, if you can do that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I gotcha. I know that guy. Full projector and then present.
Odds, you could type in the regular
screen.
So that was my experiences so far. We'll get to we'll have if Triple B can share his screen, and then we'll talk a little bit about Create an Arena since I'm on that topic, and then we'll have Beat and Odds share their. There we go.
There it is. All right. So I was just playing around with these.
So it lets you actually, like, without using that logo, can you just change the color to blue on top?
Yeah, I'm going to revert the changes real quick.
That's what I couldn't find. Like, it didn't say color.
So if you just select your tables, right?
Okay.
And you go to cover. Both.
When I did one, it didn't say cover.
Really?
Yeah, go to one.
All right, let's switch it to one then.
Oh, it did. I don't know
Okay,
why.
yeah. Cover and base. So when you go to cover, you have color.
Well, here we might as well bring odds in also, since we're the only three here, and chit chat about arena. Then we'll touch base on the other stuff. Greetings and salutations.
Greetings and salutations. I'm gonna say two things first. There's
Sure.
one of them. I have not seen anyone use March Madness in call wrestling since CCL, and if there's anyone that I'm honored to have someone else use that idea that the late great Eddie Mack did, it's you.
Thank you. Hey, by the way, I did it last year. The gathering last year was a 64-man tournament.
Well,
So
I just want to say that because
I
haven't
appreciate
seen
that.
anyone else done it. I haven't seen anyone else do it, but Eddie Mack did it all those years ago, and
But to me, it kind of makes sense. I mean, obviously, you have to have 64 people. Number one, and that's why I figure why not involve everybody. Since I'm going to take another week or two before. I don't want people to rush their, because if I start downloading a couple people's characters, I know at least 5 people that are going to hurry up and finish their call. And I don't want them to do that.
Oh yeah. And the second thing, when THQ was doing these games were built for creators, damn it. This series was built for creators. It was built for everybody.
I see it now, Pete. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah.
It was probably
for announce table.
It was probably something that was with the patch.
So
no, I did it last night, so the patch would have been done.
This is the part that drives me insane. And it might be silly, but this is what drives me insane. Is I can't go to custom images, pick one. Let me pick the one for this arena.
Mm-hmm.
He's on PC. I'm wondering if this is a PlayStation bug.
I don't know. What are you trying to do to it? Oh, different materials?
Yeah, I was trying to get it to tile, but it won't.
No, that's what I was talking about. Go to corner. Go to corner.
Okay. So
go to barricade, go to corner. And then if you select a pattern, it'll let you tile it.
What?
Because it just covers the whole thing. That's the only way I could figure out how to tile something.
I couldn't even get it to do this earlier today. Maybe I missed that.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted you guys on here, because if I miss something, because I'm not perfect, I'm just messing with this real quick. But you should be able to select an image and tile it. Now, you go into corner again. There's no image to tile. Corner. Now go to images.
Sorry, I wanted to see if it would let me do that because I love using the rails. So go back to this. We'll go to corner again. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
All right.
Corner and then go to images.
Images.
Can't tile it. It's just gonna put it in the corner.
But you should be able to do. Oh, they took that away.
Yeah, that's it.
So
remember, it would say pattern image. It would say tile images before.
Yeah. What?
That sucks.
It does.
Because I want a custom barricade. Now I just got to use one of those backgrounds and then put a logo in the middle.
Damn.
Yeah, Xbox as well, Gav says. Same thing over on Xbox. Can't.
Well, I'm just happy that I can at least do. Well, even in this arena, it's got an announce table, so I don't like it when the mat curves from the top. So see how the mat actually curves up here? You can see the mouse. Cool.
Yeah.
The mat, it curves. I like when it's a square when I use the other barricades.
The ringside layout thing is different too. Like
yeah.
How you select that. It's just, I mean, it's kind of the same idea, but you just select that, and then it's like before you could see, there's a square layout, it says.
Yeah, it's a square layout.
But you can't do it with the announce. Okay.
Yeah, so I'd have to get rid of the announce tables for this arena. So for all my pay-per-views, they're going to have these barricades.
Now I knew in 23 there was certain arenas that you had to have announce table. Like I know I liked it without the announce table at all. Mainly because remember when they pull out the big ladder and it's just hovering in the midair?
Yeah.
So I was I'm the commentator and I'm not at ringside. So I was trying to only use arenas. Like there's one arena where you can take it out, and then there was like 3 or 4 arenas where it wouldn't let you take the announce table out.
Well, I can tell you I've used every arena, every size, and you can take the announce tables out. I don't want to do it right now because I just set
No,
them
that's
up,
fine.
but you can take
Some are
them
funny though.
out and do it.
Can you go to the Tron and show them like
Yep.
what I was talking about with
Some
moving an
if
image?
you take the table out is funny though because the commentators are in the crowd.
Which
Yeah, I remember that too.
which set of Trons are we going to? The ones on the stage or the or any
Stage.
of them?
Any of them. Just
on the crowd's lap.
yeah, I remember when it did that. I know there are some where you go into construction and it's just see how now they have like go to Titantron, I go over one. Instead of just selecting your Tron and you do that, now there's these 3 different features there. So that's different.
So this is your moving feature. So if you select it, you can move it and see it. But if it's in an invalid location, so this little thing this indicator right here, if you have that, you can't place it there.
Yep.
So you can move it back. And then the only problem is the valid locations are off the stage and behind
my problem is when you pick a mini Tron, because this is the one big Tron. If you do a mini Tron and then one of the Trons that are like, so pick a Tron that's like not full thing, a major Tron. Show me now, before we go there, the stage thing. You said you could resize the things on the stage or something you were talking about earlier today?
you could place them. So, for instance, let's pick a mini Tron here that'll work. Any of these will work. So see how it's in that weird space, and you have to like move it in.
Mm-hmm.
But what's weird is
it's invalid location, like everywhere you're at. It has to be way back there.
Well, it's actually not way back there. That's the funny part. If I move the camera, it's actually sitting right on the edge. It's sitting on the stage.
Okay. It looks like it's way behind it, though.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's way behind it. But that's the only place you can put it. So there's an option to set the floor height. So if you press, for me, it's Y. If I press
the floor height.
It sets it on the stage.
Uh-huh.
And that next plane thing was, like if I picked the one Titantron, I couldn't move it all the way down unless I picked next plane. Then it let me move it up.
Correct. So what it's pretty much doing is it's on a different axis. So it's either on the y-axis, the x-axis, which moves it left and right, or the z-axis, which moves it forward and back.
Gotcha. So that's why I couldn't move them left and right when I was trying to move them left and right.
So if we placed it right, and then let's say I'm like you, I don't want the WWE logos on there. So let's go to this one.
I'm the odd man out. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I like having different people's opinions because some people that doesn't matter. To me, I don't want someone's name behind me when I'm Blaze McCoy. I don't want it to say, Charlotte Flair behind me or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But some people, they don't care because it's a 6-second entrance. And
Yeah,
I get that too.
But over time, it's going to become even more of a problem when they switch from video Trons to big letter names.
Yeah, but that's why I'm glad they have a handful of generic Trons.
Yeah.
And, right now from the one blue and red, now they have gold and green and just those basic ones. I'll use all those if I have to. Like I said, it's only a couple seconds coming down to the ring. We got Tiny in the house. Good to see you.
Hey, Tiny.
The odd man is right, says Gav. He's always right. That's why I got these 2 guys on here. You think I'd bring 2 morons on here with me? These guys are smart when it comes to this.
Well, I'm not always right, but when I am, I'm right on the money.
Yeah.
When he is, he'll never let you forget it.
And like I said, a lot of the things I was talking about, there may be workarounds. There may be other ways to do it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
there's plenty of ways to do it.
To me, Create Arena was just very frustrating. And number one, it's because it's a little different. I can get used to a different method of moving things.
There's always
What
it's
I
always
like is
like that.
what I like is I can move the camera and I can dock it.
I like that.
And when I dock it, I can then move the. Oh, I'm in the wrong plane.
Yeah, I need to get used to that next plane thing and set the floor height type thing. That's a little different this year, and I just messed with it one time. So the more, obviously, like anybody out there, the more you work with, the more it's going to get easier for you.
So this for me is arena number 10. So I've had a little bit of practice now. But
I'm hoping they fix the lighting on 23. A lot of these created arena, like the Gathering one I'm using right now, when people walk down to the ring, there's no light on them, and that's very frustrating. So,
honestly, with the lighting that the showcase has for outdoor arenas, they need to give us back the ability to have outdoor arenas in the daylight.
Yeah, I love that.
Select
day
after that looked photorealistic.
Yeah.
Plus, now this is a cool feature that they added back in. Sorry to cut you guys off, but you can actually add a material again, like 19.
Because that's what I was doing with the outside arenas. I would do a universe mode in the daytime, and then my bonus matches I would go outside of universe mode and do it at night.
Ooh!
So it was like a real show. It was like you were watching a real show.
I did that with my big like WrestleMania sized events where I'd use an outside arena and we'd start in the daytime and the first 4 matches would be at day, the second or the next 2 would be in the evening, and then the final 4 would be at night.
Same. If you go back and watch some of my outdoor arena shows in like 19, you'll see that it starts off in the day and then it goes to dusk and then it goes to night.
While Triple Beat is messing with this odds, why don't you kind of take the floor here a little bit and tell the people what you've done so far, what things you like, what you don't like, and what you've experienced in this first week.
Yeah. So far I did exactly what I've been doing for the past few games. For the past few games, well, last one game with 22. Went through showcase, unlocked everything. And now going through the My Rises, trying to unlock everything just to make sure that if somebody has anything, I don't have to worry about it. And it's unlocking some interesting entrances and not as much as before, but some decent stuff. The female story has been good. The male story has been kind of as you saw in the trailer. If you think that story is interesting from the trailer, you'll find it interesting.
Without giving away too much, kind of touch base on what you guys are talking about earlier today, how some of the gear and the entrances are like to a supernatural type of effect.
One of the storylines in the female My Rise is very supernatural, and it unlocks an ability, a payback, and it unlocks an entrance that is supernatural, of the person floating down like they're Scarlet Witch and stuff like that.
Seven. Remember the Seven character that Dustin Rhodes had in WCW?
Oh, I try to forget.
I actually saw that live when I was in Indianapolis, and as terrible as the gimmick was, that entrance made the hair on my body stand up because it really looked, I couldn't see wires. It really looked like that fucker was levitating to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But before you keep going, odds, for those out there, I know Mrs. U-Taker and some other people do shows with the supernatural effect. That's going to be really cool for you guys. But I'm telling you right now, for LTD, I am not unlocking anything in My Rise. So if you're creating your character for me, don't use those supernatural entrances. We wouldn't use them anyways. There's only like 10 items of attire that you guys unlock, which I'm glad, but we're not using any of those. And obviously, I don't need the WrestleMania arenas. Which, if you want to touch base on that from the showcase stuff, Triple Beat tell us about what happened to your showcase.
Oh God. I completely lost everything because I had a notification on my computer that it said something about data or something like that, and not to start the game if I wanted to keep everything. So I was like, okay, yeah, free camera real quick. It's hurting my eyes.
And you had finished Showcase already too, and you were working on My Rise, right?
Yep, and just got started in My Rise, and I lost everything because I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit B to exit out of the game, and I hit A instead, and it launched me into the game, deleted all my data, and was like, well, you decided to jump in. I was like, damn it.
And
But-
that's, I mean, I hate that it happened to you, but that is a lesson that is great for other people out there to be aware of. You know, it's not a glitch, it's not an error, it's just a mistake, and it happens. And that's like Tiny, like I said, Hell's Gate Wrestling, that supernatural stuff can be perfect for you. The captain's outfit, the hat, there's another captain's hat in the game.
Yep.
It's a little different looking, but and I can't think of anybody unless Demented comes back, Captain Demented, that's going to wear a captain hat. So Captain Danger doesn't wear one, so I ain't worried.
The two other entrances that you unlock are not supernatural. They're just.
You said one with the paparazzi thing.
Yeah, cool entrances. The paparazzi thing is a payback. I am very afraid of seeing it because but eventually I will see it to figure out whether or not it's going to be banned on my show or not.
Resiliency this year, the payback is limited to 85 and up, right?
Yes.
From what I know right now, and this may change, and everyone does their shit different. Unless I see videos telling me not to, or that there's a better way, I'm going to stick to 100 attributes and custom tendencies. That's what we did on 23. And so far from what I see, there's not a big difference. I know a lot of people want to go to natural stats, start people at 80, 85, and that's cool. I really like that other people are doing that, but I am still to the effect that
I'll be going back to natural stats, hopefully.
The way I looked at it and tested it was if all your hold on.
But I'm very happy for you. I'm very
happy.
If all your attributes, because listen, there's two things, people: attributes and tendencies. And please, if you're creating your car, please set your personality traits, because that does help how your character acts. I keep seeing people that miss that, and I'll go in and guess for you or contact you. Paybacks, you will be able to use resiliency in LTD because I'm going all 100. The way I've seen it and had it explained to me, and I may change this, I'm not sure, was that if all the attributes were 100, it kind of reverts to the tendencies for weapons or high flying and shit like that. No, stop the wreck shit. Quit saying his name.
If that's the case, then max stats are going to have a good bonus to why to do them.
Yes. And I'm also I remember last year there was 3 or 4 bottom. Now you guys got to get used to the verbiage. It's kind of hard to understand. Attributes are what we've had since 19. The tendencies are relatively new, and
actually attributes have been around since.
Well, I've only used 18 and 19.
No joke.
Yeah, they've been around. They've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, but the tendencies are AI tendencies as opposed to the attributes. Oh God, Bill, why did you want him?
I've been trying to be quiet, but gosh dang, this chat's on fire right now.
Odds, anything else that you have matches that you've tested or anything like that you want to talk about? Or
I've done maybe one or two matches. The ambulance matches and the casket matches last a good while, but that's about all I've gotten to. I'm pretty much just trying to finish the My Rise and finish the My Rises, and then and obviously did the showcase. And once I get into creations, the first thing I'm doing is belts, and then making Carmen for a certain show called LTD.
Can you beat, if you're finished messing with that, can you go into the game sliders?
Yep, I can do that.
Because I'm gonna go into 23 sliders. I want to compare something.
All right. before I do, I just want to make one little comment.
No, sure. Go for it, please.
Talking about logo placement in the ring and whatnot, and what I've done, because I plan on using the ramp cam.
That's a great idea. I see what you did.
Yep, I did it diagonally, so it'll work this way, and it'll work this way.
That's fucking brilliant. See, that's why I love you guys. That's cool. Because that was my worry. You know, if I set the logo completely that way and it goes to the side, I'm gonna be upset.
All right, I'm gonna name it real quick, and then I'll be out.
No, you're fine. I'm just gonna bring up 23 because I want to compare, and I also want to show people because I didn't see it the first time. The final thing on the final part of the game sliders has 3 extra parts. And I didn't see them at first because there are special guest referee sliders. Now, as I have for the last couple games, and I found out the hard way, I don't always want to listen to just anybody who posts best AI sliders because it might not be the best. The first one I used last year fucked up the game completely, and I had to look for a different one. So if you go all the way to advanced, there's 3 R1 or whatever to go mini settings. No, go back to
I'm sorry.
or R2. I'm sorry, whatever it is. Yeah, time mini game submission, and here's the guest referee ones. So how this affects? What do you guys think this will affect the AI when we're not controlling him?
We could test it. I mean, referee
That's
placement.
what I'm thinking.
Referee placement countdown duration.
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to do a video because some people do some great videos where they'll go through every slider, explain what it does, and where you can have it. Like, remember last year we had the finisher and signature ones that would gradually grow. So the more finishers or signatures you hit, that was brilliant. I would have never guessed that until someone explained it to me. And it did work in the game for me. No one gets more than 3 finishers.
Yeah.
How much the referee increases, or how much the referee meter increases when the referee performs actions such an affair matter, such as counting a pinfall at normal pace. Does not apply to My Factor Online. So I wonder if we up this. So the problem is when there's a ref, they just stand there and don't do anything, right?
Yeah, what they'll do is they'll if you go outside the ring, they will do the count out, and if you go for a pinfall, they will do the pin, and if they go for a submission, they'll ask for the submission, but they don't move with the action like the regular AI ref does. You know what I mean?
Let's give them some bonuses here to these defaults and see if it works.
That actually don't make sense, Bill, but that does make sense. But Ruthless, Kindred, Eternity, those stables are done in LTD. I've had enough of you bastards. What I'm trying to find, there was 4 sliders at the bottom of a create a wrestler that someone had set lower and it worked better, and I want to find those.
Yeah. Go to
do you have any created wrestlers in there yet? Or you can do Edit Superstar and do it too. Just go into the sliders, the statistics, and then AI attributes. So on the bottom there was hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Possum attack and pin tendency, instant recovery, which I saw a couple videos which said instant recovery, if it's over 50, they're going to get up at a lot more if they get hit hard instead of being down like they should be after a big shot.
Yeah.
So I went through those. Wait, let me see if those bottom 4. Yeah, those bottom 4 are exactly the same as 23. The way I had those bottom 4 for every single wrestler in LTD, whether you had it set different or not, was 50, 30, 50, 40. I would personally go through and set everybody to 50 for pin tendency, 30 for instant recovery, 50 for ring escape, because I didn't want them going out of the ring a lot. So if you had that at 100, and let me say this too, for people creating your characters out there, do not max out your tendencies.
No.
That's going to help your character be realistic. If he's a 400-pound guy, lower the fucking springboard shit to almost nothing. Make it realistic. Or I'm going to go in and do it for you. I'll tell you. I'm not going to jack no one's numbers down just for the sake of doing it.
Unless you're doing a Mike Awesome like character, then maybe put it to like 20.
There are exceptions.
I can tell you guys with these though what I found, and one of our good friends Monk
Yes, I've
has
seen his work. He does a great
played
job.
these games like crazy. He does nat stats too. But what I can tell you is that these AI tendency sliders, they have this range where it's like 42 to 44, 62 to 64, and 82 to 84.
The way I did it for 23, I did not let anyone have over 90 for any of these.
Right. But what I'm
That's just how I like. If you were really good at springboard, you could be 90, but you couldn't be 99. I wanted to be kind of realistic.
But
What do you guys think about instant recovery? Do you know anything about that on the bottom? Like I saw a couple videos where people were like, "Do not set your instant recovery for anything over 50," because they would keep getting up when they got like a finisher 3 and they'd get right back up and shit.
Yeah.
So there's
Sorry,
Odds. No, go ahead, Odds.
what I know about this game in the game itself, you can instant recover for a large margin of your stamina, and that may be what the AI is using to get up constantly.
Here's another good point.
But at the same time, there's ability for stun called Strong Jaw that will have the person get up if they're stunned just right away.
Yeah. Now, when you go in and you set up your character and pick whatever persona and stuff, it'll set these tendencies to base. If he's a brawler, if he's this, if he's a submission guy, if he's a technician, it will set these a certain way. My advice would be just tweak it a little bit from there because it's already set to be a big man powerhouse. Like here's a great thing. David Ruin, David Ruin is an old LTD character, Bill Hate's tag partner from the year 2000. He's a monster. He never goes off the top rope. So even if you set him as a big guy, go in here, go up and find where the springboard and rope shit and move it down. Springboard, daredevil dive tendency. It's okay to have a couple of them low. You were saying something.
So if you're talking about giants, another way to figure out where your tendency should probably be is look at the in-game characters themselves.
Good thought. Good.
So go down to Andre the Giant because he's the biggest guy in the game.
I'm sorry, Iron Jaw, not Strong Jaw.
You better not be jumping off the top rope.
I saw him do it actually.
Yeah, I mean it is a video game, so nothing's going to be perfect.
Oh yeah, nothing's going to be perfect. Unless you're playing 2K20, then all big men dive off the top rope like they're Rey Mysterio.
So Pete Waz, he was doing a show the other night, and he has like 4 or 5 jobbers on his show. He has them set at 46, 50, 60, and they're beating 90s and 100s.
I was having that issue last year. I had that issue last year with Philip.
That's another reason I want to do 100 attributes.
Yep.
It levels the playing field, and then these tendencies will determine what your character will do.
But notice his dive tendency is at like...
Yeah, so he 17. May dive, but look, he's not going to do an in-ring springboard or a ringside springboard. But he might. If you have 100 matches, he might do it twice.
Here's one thing about the attributes that's interesting. So many people think, oh, this person's at 100, this person's at 60. Obviously, the 100's going to win.
No,
not all the time. I've seen a 96 lose to someone that's an 88.
AI can be a crapshoot, and I'm glad. I mean, it's never going to be perfect.
It's not always about the attributes. Sometimes it's about just the AI, and sometimes it's about the AI, sometimes it's about moveset.
Go to personality traits.
Sometimes about personality traits. It's a crapshoot at who's going to win.
I mean, I know a lot of people, especially ones that rush to do their character, they forget to do this. And this is like a lot of the other instructions you don't have to read. For these, read the instructions. It'll kind of guide you on, what kind of character do you want your guy to do? What kind of stuff do you want them to do? Is he, and yes, it's not always that the blue's good guys and the reds are bad guys. You can have one tendency where he can be aggressive, but everything else is blue.
I've seen a babyface setup with everything on red.
Yeah. Nightmare, what's happening, man? And IW, good to see you. Hit the thumbs up. We do have a couple people in the green room. We'll get to you guys in a little bit just to share your thoughts on what you've experienced in week 1. But is there anything else, Beat, that you have tested out? Like, let's talk about tag team matches and stuff. I think they're a little better than normal ones. Have you experienced the same?
I'm finding they're a lot better. I've done a few, and they don't go longer than 20 minutes, if that.
Odds? What about you, Odds? Have you seen any of the tag team action?
I have not seen any of the tag teams things yet, but that makes me very excited.
Yeah. The one thing I noticed, and this is probably going to make me do more no DQ, or there is one-on-one no exit. Will they stay in the ring the whole match?
So what'll happen with that is if they get knocked out of the ring, instead of taking their time, they get right back in.
Yeah. Which I don't remember if it was maybe 22, but I know that was in there before.
It was
23. You couldn't do it in 23.
It was in 22, but it wasn't in 23.
Yeah. So my standard matches will probably be the count out 5s because that is pretty much the same. But here's my first universe mode that I tested the other night. I had 9 matches. 3 of them were countouts because I did all standard matches. I did standard singles, standard tag, and a standard 6-man. The 6-man was a count out. The tag was a count out. And one of the singles matches was a count out.
Yeah.
The singles will get less count outs, but if you don't want count outs, maybe custom matches are the way to go. And I'm probably going to go all custom matches again. Odds. Good.
And also, if you don't want count outs, it may also be the personality traits. Because with people, that if you have it on disrespectful or something like that, they will instantly just say, okay, they're outside of the ring. I'll take a count out. Screw it.
Yeah.
And that's what will happen. And they'll just make sure that it's a count out.
So there's a reason I have this pulled up. We were talking about like how to set up characters and whatnot and everything. These are actually very important. And it's for sliders for their pretty much the resilience of their body parts. It affects how the AI interacts with the other AI. So, for instance, Andre has got weak legs and a weak head or a weaker head. Anything at 800 or above is average. Anything below 800 is a weakness.
I had a girlfriend who had weak head. She was terrible. Bill, so I remember back in the day, I tried to make you guys a face. I tried to make Ruthless a face in the E-Fed world. It didn't work.
So he's got.
I've never messed with this.
He's got weak legs, which means that his opponents are going to actually focus on attacking his legs and trying to slow him down. His body.
This is in Create a Wrestler too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
This
also,
is where you can.
And also with the lowered legs, it also makes it that he will not do a lot of things that will run and stuff like that. That stops him from doing it too.
Yep.
Yes,
you can
yes,
keep
Bill.
him from going up top because of this.
Yes, Bill. PlayStation, Xbox, PC, it's all cross systems now, which is fantastic. I thought that was going to cause a lot of problems, but I'm glad it doesn't seem to cause too many, if it does any. You know, to be able to download someone that created it on PC or created it on Xbox for your PlayStation show. I'm really glad they did that.
Kelly Mavericks last year came from PC.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it worked. It worked a lot better first day than in 2K15 when they invented uploading logos.
Beat, I know you tested out a lot of the new matches. What did you think of, Ambulance, Casket, Gauntlet?
I liked them. Ambulance and Casket matches are going to be a lot of fun to do for feud enders, I feel. Even with default sliders right now, base game default sliders, no editing whatsoever. I'm getting 19 to 20 minute matches for those, and they're phenomenal. I have a friend who's done a few Casket matches, and every time he does them, Cody Rhodes, the action figure Cody Rhodes, has won like 3 of them in a row. It's just like, dang.
Want to watch a funny casket match? I did a casket match with the 2 action figures.
Yep, that was
Action
funny to
John
watch.
Cena and action figure Cody Rhodes.
For shits and giggles, I just went into YouTube, searched for WWE2K24 best AI versus AI sliders. There's no videos yet. It's all 23.
I was not expecting any.
There's a couple my gameplay sliders, but but those will come out. That's another reason why I don't want to rush into shit.
Oh yeah.
And that's why when I start that's why when I start creating, I'm still going to be doing that universe that you had mentioned earlier with the WrestleMania arenas.
Yes.
Because it'll give me an opportunity to test the game, test more matches, and then go, okay, I need to adjust the sliders for this or that or whatever. And I haven't done that yet because I don't want a baseline, because I want to figure out what works, what doesn't work first, and then try to figure out what are the sliders that I need to use.
So you changed those special ref sliders?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to test a special ref match out while we're doing this?
Yeah, let's do it.
See if that ref does anything more.
Yeah.
IW, you're not lost. You're right where you're supposed to be. Go ahead, Odds.
I am more than likely going to do exactly what I did with 19, which is find the 2 sliders that, this is a realistic sliders. These are AI sliders, whatever, and find 2 that I like, mix them up, mix them up, and make my own sliders that worked. That worked in 19 for me. I'm hoping it works again. If not, I'll just go with the best looking sliders and be done with it.
Yeah, I mean that's something that's really can be tweaked a lot of different ways. I've seen some people that just stick with the regular default sliders and run with it, and they don't have it's not too bad. The problem that I have is like the ring out. I don't want people ring escaping 95 times a match. You can change the match type to try to help that. Like we were just talking about, do a no exit match, especially if I'm doing like a crazy 8 match. That match doesn't always have to go outside the ring. You could just have all 8 in the ring and pinfall submission until it's over. And then you could have a hardcore version where it's falls count anywhere if you want a bunch of weapons. Have you seen the blood dripping yet? I haven't.
I have not.
I saw it on Pete's show the other night. That's about it.
I have not either, because I am playing the matches, and by the time blood shows up, I'm already getting the 3 count.
Yes, I'm wondering if like it has to be a really brutal match or something for the blood to like. I've seen people get busted open, but I haven't seen any. What's Steel City?
It's one of the pay-per-views that I have. Actually, I've had it for 5 years.
I was like, please don't tell me that's an unlockable.
No. This is a created arena.
Nice. So now,
that'd be cruel if it was an unlockable arena.
See, that's different. So he's wearing a different shirt than the other guys. Is that one that you went in and changed the shirt or no?
No, this is an unlockable from the showcase.
Oh, okay. Because I know if you just select any random person as the ref, it just puts the shirt on him. And sometimes, like with The Rock, he still has like elbow pads and stuff. So you can go in and actually change. But it does take up a cost slot, I believe. If you go into someone's superstar and change it to put on a different referee outfit, that does take up a cost slot, right?
Yeah, it does. If you're gonna put a custom ref shirt on them, it takes up a cost slot.
Well, that's why I'm just gonna make one referee and be done with it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use the in-game refs, and then maybe Super Nacho has said he doesn't want to wrestle anymore. He wants a ref, so I might have him as one that I can do a match every once in a while on him ref. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's just I wish it's not like, for those out there who don't know, it's not just like insert anybody and they're going to do what the normal AI ref is going to do. It's a whole different match type.
Yeah.
So as you saw him select it, I wasn't paying attention, but you saw he didn't just select a one-on-one. He had to select guest ref.
Yep. I had to select guest referee.
Mm-hmm.
I had to choose Shamrock as my ref.
But can we make referees?
You can make a custom
just-
character and give them a referee shirt and use them as a ref, but
can just
you can't
use a toss
actually
lot.
make an actual ref. There's no
For me-
create a ref feature.
I know I'm going to need all 100 cost slots.
Yeah, I know I am too. I make
I'm trying to lower the roster a little bit, but at the same time, I'll have a couple great Hall people that can fight every once in a while. I'll have Blaze and Sunshine who won't fight, but I'll use them once in a while. I wanted to keep like a GM so I could use him do things like I did with Matt Henstock the other night. We don't have promos and shit with the general manager, so I had him challenge me into a fight, and I stopped the show, and I played it off like we hugged like an angle to go into the next show. I mean, you have to get creative with it if you're doing live shows. If you're doing pre-recorded shows, I can't wait to see what some of the people that do pre-recorded shows are going to do with 24. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be a fun year. That's for sure.
Once all my calls are made, and once I download all the calls that are needed, and everyone knows the rules, that's when I start into the show and see what all I can do and what all my mind can come up with.
So we're going to see if this referee does a little more than just stand around, or, will he be quicker to count? Will he act differently than he does in a normal special guest ref match, which is normally just stand there? And while we're doing that, I want to get some words from Mordrin. Let's bring Mordrin on.
All right.
And how's it going, brother?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, great show earlier. Welcome back. Glad to have you back. So what so far, just I was asking, what have you done so far on 24? What do you like? What do you don't like? And have you done any creations?
I've done minimal creations, more of just kind of a baseline. I'm not doing a lot of the image stuff or any of that because the issues people have had and everything. So I'm waiting on custom image work for them, but just height, weight, baseline stuff. For what I've done in the game, I've really focused. Kind of like people have said, I focused on the showcase. I got that done. I just finished my first My Rise run today.
Did you do the men's or the women's?
I did the men's. I believe I did the Unleash, the red one.
So for instance, Triple B, you and Odds were talking about earlier, there's some stuff that you have to do the men's My Rise twice to unlock?
Yeah.
There's different choices.
Okay. Which makes sense. You don't always have to do the same story when you go through it. I mean, I watch you guys do My Rise. I've never done it.
And they're giving you 10 slots this year.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost like they expected you to do multiple run-throughs, multiple situations.
Now I know this is off the topic, but Beat, Odds, and Kyle did a My GM mode the other night. Odds, what did you think of it?
But it's what it's been since it's returned. It's very streamlined.
Yeah, I haven't done the mode yet. I went through and looked at it to see, who they added, what powers they have, and it looks like they've done some really good jobs with it. I said I haven't gotten into the nuts and bolts of it yet.
I don't know. Do you think the ref a little more active or no? It's hard to tell.
He seems just as active as any normal ref.
Yeah.
To me, at least.
Yeah, it almost seems like he's staying off in the corner until he has to do something.
Because the first time I did a special guest ref match, he didn't do dick. He just stood there. And then he would go down to do the count. He barely moved around. At least he's kind of moving around. I don't know if it made an effect or not. It's hard to tell without doing a few tests. Anything else that...
But at the same time, even back in the old days, especially as referee, that's all the referee did.
I got you.
Just act like a normal referee.
I guess maybe I was expecting too much for it to act like an in-game ref does. I mean, it's very similar. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Now you can obviously, for those who don't know in the chat, you press a button and you can control the refs. You can be a dirty ref. You can make them do fast counts, 1, 2, 3. You can make them do real slow counts, stuff like that. You can stop the count after 2 and stand up and do shit like that if you want to play dirty. Like Bill Haight said, he said everyone would get fucked if he was the ref.
Now I don't know.
Bring in Paul rope break. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Get
know
more.
if this will be in the AI version of guest referees. I do know through, without giving too much away, on part of the My Rise, I had to deal with the guest referee that was trying to screw me over,
Mm.
and he got kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I did guest ref, because I was terrible, it kicked me out. And then when you get kicked out as the guest ref, it throws you at ringside as a manager. And you
Mhm.
can still interfere. So I started trying to grab the people's legs. I got into the ring, did a move, and the ref threw me the fuck out again.
Yep.
Now there's a slider. There's one slider that I forgot to mention because I remember seeing a video. When you get thrown out, there is a 60-second time period before the next ref comes out. If you change that slider, the ref will come out right away. Go back to the sliders for guest ref.
Yeah, you see, in the My Rise, at least, yeah, he came out right away and threw the other ref out.
Because for me, I waited. I was like, where the fuck's the ref? And I watched Pete do it, and he was like, what the fuck? There's no other ref. So referee replacement countdown duration. That's it. If you put it up at 60, he'll wait 60 seconds before the next ref comes out. If you put it down at 0, he's going to come out right away. So that depends on however you fucking want it. So that's nice if they give you a slider on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get this.
The one slider I so wish they'd have brought back, or not slider, but, kind of slider from 19 where you could turn off doing aerial moves for a character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that would go to, you'd have to fuck with the attributes. Like
Yeah, and
you
that's what I missed in 19 is that you could literally say no top rope moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would block off top rope moves as an ability for that person.
Mm-hmm.
They would not be able to do off top rope moves, period.
Because, kind of thing, when Mordrin was doing in 19, he didn't go off the top rope because he's old.
Yeah, and
Well,
that's making your character more realistic. And I talk about this all the time. There are, I would say, at least 3 different levels of engagement. That is, people that are super into their character, know exactly how they're going to act, love advancing the character, etc. There's people who are just glad to be a part of your show and don't really care how you handle their character. They're not going to get as involved. And there's people that need help, that aren't going to be able to, they need guidance or, and I want to cater to all those types of people and some people, would we prefer everyone to be super into their character and everything? Sure. So are you going to you going to control the character here, the ref, so he gets kicked out?
Actually, no. What I'm doing is I'm testing to see if a tag partner or someone in your faction will actually,
be dirty.
Yeah. And I lowered the penalty when we were all talking. I lowered the penalty for making a dirty call to 25%.
Gotcha. Now, the other thing I didn't mention, which is kind of frustrating to me, is if you have a match with managers, it seems like every match, because there's new manager interactions. If you're playing the game, you can press a button and have them remove the turnbuckle or fuck with the ref or do something else. Every AI match I've done that has a manager, they are taking the fucking
that damn turnbuckle.
Yeah, they're taking it. We
God.
got rid of the steps. Now we got turnbuckles every match. Hopefully they can patch that, or that. Why not a slider for that?
Yeah.
Manager interaction, move it down to 50 or 25. But I had Paul Heyman, no shit, 5 times. He just, every time the ref put the thing back on, he would take it off, or he would go to a different one and take it off.
I was gonna say I had in my Rise, when I had people with having managers out there, the ref would go fix one while he's fixing one, they're taking off another.
Yeah, exactly. So that I don't know if anyone's reported that, with all the people, that maybe they can patch that, because for me, I don't use managers that much. When I do, if they do that one match, I guess it wouldn't be too bad, but I don't want them taking it off every match 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it was a bit excessive.
I forget what the other interactions are with the managers.
I would love manager sliders, because then you could make an accurate Mr. Fuji.
I think the other interactions, they can distract the referee, put a weapon in the ring, and they can distract they can distract their guy's opponent.
Yes, that's
what I wish is if there were multiple managers. If there was a power up, let's say they do enough actions they can power an ability up. I'd like to have one on each side of the ring one jumping up, distracting the ref, one throwing the weapon in, and then the heel grabbing the weapon and hitting the face with it, and then throwing it out.
That would be fantastic, but now we're wishing for too much.
I would
I
just
would love it too.
having
Well,
having their own abilities, like being able to throw powder in somebody's eyes.
oh yeah, that would be great.
Or throw knucks into the ring, or if someone's right near the ropes, put their leg on the ropes.
Speaking of that, I wanted the paybacks. I know the fireball is one, right?
That fireball.
And just like the mist, I would say for my company, I'm probably going to only let one person, if it's specific to a character, that would do that. Like I had Yeti with the dumpster juice. He was the only one that spit shit. And if someone else did it, I would take it off of them. Like I want that to be unique to a character, like it would be in real life.
Yeah.
If there's two characters out of my 80 that, would throw a fireball, maybe there'd be two. But I'd like to see that. Has anybody seen the fireball used yet?
I haven't seen it used yet.
No, I have not.
No, like I said, we're only 1 week into it. In another couple weeks, I want to do this again.
I see people show it off, and it's like exactly how you would expect a fireball in a wrestling match to be done.
It's like a little flashbang. I saw it too. It looks real. It looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks, like you said, just like it should.
It's not Hulk Hogan style, like in Halloween, Havoc.
So on the 17th, next Sunday, obviously, we're going to do the selection show for the tournament. The 24th, I have an interview. The 31st, I'm going to target for the next one of these where we can all get together as content creators and rehash. Okay, we're at the end of the month. We've had 3.5 weeks. What have we learned? What do we know? Hopefully by then there'll be AI versus AI sliders that we can kind of talk about and see where everyone's at as well. Shit like that.
Now, the one thing I will say is that, at least for me personally, has been a drastic improvement over previous games. I've played the game every day since it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first crash today.
Yeah, I've only had one.
Oh.
I've only had one too.
I've heard of very few crashes.
I haven't had a single crash.
Now, like I said earlier, I know Xbox was having a big problem because anytime they were going into community creations, it was crashing. But that was a fix in patch 103. Hey, Goddess, what'd you miss? You missed everything. We're done. All right, see you later, guys. We are out of here. Take care. Blaised.
But yeah, no, I had one crash during my rise, but that's the only crash I've had. Like I said, I play it at least partially every day to get through stuff. Just because, like, for me, I want to unlock the different arenas in my rise to do some different things using the templates from those arenas for my company down the road.
Now, that's my question. The things that you unlock, are you going to be able to use those? I don't think you can use the unlocked arenas for custom arena. That's the problem. That's why I'm deciding, because in the past, like the arenas that you unlock, they've never been in Create an Arena. Like
I don't know if they will be or not. I'm hoping the template will at least.
I don't think any of it's going to be. If it is, let me know, and I'll have to have someone go through showcase. But it's not. What just happened?
Jay just punched Cody.
Yeah. So maybe you're right. If they're on a team, like remember last year at the beginning of 23, they said if you have someone set as a tag team, they will interact against each other, not much in rumbles. I think one of the patches fucked that up because it worked for a little while and then it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I love that aspect. That's something that adds realism. Of course, you're going to wait until you're the last 2 or 4 to fight. Now, you're not controlling this ref, are you?
I'm not controlling anything.
He's doing a lot more.
He is.
So maybe those sliders can affect it. And obviously, if they're on the same team, you may trigger like
different
more
actions.
Yeah, siding with that person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought I'd seen somewhere, and just from a video, I think it was one of the preview videos, to where if you were selecting a referee, you could determine if he was going to be biased towards somebody.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Oh, right here. We can see it right here. He's not counting the pin.
Wow.
Yeah. See, that shit's good.
Yeah, didn't cut you off. Oh!
Here's my question. if they are all created characters.
Look how fast he's counting.
Yeah.
Yep.
He threw him out, and he's fast counting him out.
Wow, that's good. Now, if these were all 3 cause, would they do like say, I had Triple Beat and I had Kelly Mavericks and TJ Toad, the California Kids, and I made, your partner the ref. I wonder if this would do the same with created characters. That's my question.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. And
I
it
wonder,
may be
I
one of
wonder if that
those-
matters of their personality traits.
That could matter too. There's so many variables. That's why, we can knock this game all we want, but it is so intricate when it comes to a lot of these things. We can pick out things that are wrong or we don't like or wish it were better, but we got a hell of a game to fuck with and to make whatever we want to.
Yeah, I wasn't able to make the last show that you did with this, Sarah, just because of things here, but that is the one thing I will say is that just the overall body of work is much more in depth than a lot of the previous games.
Yeah, listen, Blade Charge. I know Blade Charge has been up in the air about whether he should get the game or not. There's a lot of improvements, Blade. I think this game is, yes, there's things we can complain about, but a lot of the standard matches.
Honestly, out of all the 2K games, I think this is tied with 19 with being the best out of the 2K made games, starting with 15.
Like what the problem I thought was 22 was it was 2K20 patched up a million times. So and 20 was
not patched up much.
Yeah, exactly. But
tried.
It was like they tried to fix 20 instead of starting over, and they had 2 years to start over. This time, like a lot of people are saying, there's a lot of features that are similar to 14 and 15. They're taking things from the past that have worked. There's things we might want, but plus they're using the modern day technology to improve it as well. Yeah. This is pretty interesting to see the ref do more interaction like that because he's associated with someone in the match.
Yeah.
So we'll have to, that's something we'll have to test out with created wrestlers once.
Oh my God.
He's like going right after Cody. Now Cody's gonna beat up the ref.
Cody's like, fuck you.
I've had enough. Well, I wonder if that, obviously if this happens enough, Uso's meter will fill up and they'll have a new ref come down.
Yeah, we'll have a new ref. Eventually.
But these are the type of different interactions that you don't normally see that I wanted from special guest rep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On my first test, I was like, shit. Yeah, Blade Charge, there's a lot of great things in this game, man. I think if you can afford it and get it whenever you can, it's worth it.
And I'll throw this out there now, Blaze. I can make a second attire with a ref shirt.
and you want to ref Aiden's matches, I'm sure.
Well, of course. I want to sign on to be his exclusive referee.
So yeah, these type of things is unique. Like I keep saying, I want to add a little realism to the game. I want to make it. Same thing with Bill. I'm sure Bill wants to come in and screw. Bill wants to be the ref so he could screw everybody over. Super Nacho would be the different. He'd be like super friendly to everybody.
Just give myself.
That's it. That was the
brass knucks.
What?
Did he disqualify him or something?
No,
Quick pin. Did he go 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, he did 1, 2, 3.
I've seen those. The quick pins are really fast.
He was like, actually, he did 2, and then he called for the bell. So he didn't even do 3.
I love it.
Wow.
Interesting. So now the question is that a mix of the fact that he's part of his team and we mess with the sliders?
Possible.
It's very possible. So I'm going to go over here real quick and go to the sliders real quick so everybody can see what they are.
You want women's ref to screw them all. Literally screw them all.
And
Screw
one
them all in
thing
what way?
I'll do tomorrow night probably is I will run a regular match. That same match with just I don't have any of my sliders changed yet, and I'll drop in the chat what happened.
So if they're gonna screw all the refs, we might as well have that in the Red Lounge arena.
Yeah, bring it.
So obviously the countdown duration, we don't have to test that. it speaks for itself. 0 to 60 is the count. 60 seconds is the longest. 0 is the shortest. That the new ref will come down if one gets kicked out.
Yep.
Bonus for
And-
good positioning, penalty for in it.
So, how much the ref meter increases when the referee performs actions in a fair manner, such as counting a pinfall as at a normal pace, does not apply to my faction or online.
He wants a KFC slider.
So, so these are your unfair sliders. So
Gotcha.
the lower this is, the more you can get away with. The higher it is, the less you can get away with.
Gotcha. So if you turn to unfair sliders all the way up and we watch that same match, Uso's probably getting kicked out after like 4 or 5 of those things
Right.
he did.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, easily.
Right after he would have attacked Cody the first time, that ref would have come out.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So I'm glad they have sliders for that. We could have easily had no sliders for a special guest ref.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is the first time we've actually seen sliders for special guest referee. They have never done this before.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Even back in the THQ days, this has never been the case.
I want to bring someone else on really quick to talk about what they've done for the first week. So let's welcome old Andy Price. Andy, what have you done? Have you get the game, and what have you experienced so far, my friend?
Hey everybody. Yeah, I got the game early because of old time zones and that. So far, pretty much finished showcase and learned where north and southwest of the ring are. If you do showcase, you'll know
Oh,
what that's
God.
referring to.
I fucking hate that.
Odds was ranting on that earlier today. Go ahead, Andy. Keep going. What
Yeah.
else have you done, Andy?
Yeah, I've made 2 prototype CAWs. One that I'm going to use just to try and figure out the move set in that for when I do my CAW for LTD and everything. So, and another one that I'm just going to use for the GM mode as a junior manager. Some of you guys know I did the stream last week and found out all that's changed with that. So yeah, probably looking at this week, maybe stay on my rise, seeing how that goes, and then probably the week after start looking at sliders, and then starting to work on my wrestler for LTD and everything. So I'm just doing it a week at a time of just planning everything out and just finding what works, what doesn't work, and just going, okay, this isn't working, this is working, and making notes of it. So that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Good stuff. And
Yeah.
have you created anything yet?
As I said, two in the Create Superstar ones, but mostly templates for working on moves and stuff. And I think I did create a sign as well. That's interesting. So might have another go at that this week. Try and make one a bit better than the one I did. But yeah, I've done a little bit of creation so far, and probably going to do a bit more this week. There's a few things I've noticed with the move sets that are new.
Yep.
That were interesting.
Appreciate you, Andy. When we do it on the 31st in a couple weeks, come back and give us another update.
Yep. Will do.
Appreciate you. He brought up a point I wanted to talk about, and I almost forgot, was 5 finishers, 5 signatures for everybody. I don't know how I'm going to approach that just yet. We didn't get into call creation just yet, but what I would imagine,
you can choose not to.
Yeah, you can just put none for the other ones, but I'm sure everyone won't do that. What I would suggest at this point, and this may change, your first finisher should be your normal first finisher. Your second finisher should be your normal second finisher. Same thing for signature. Do 1 and 2 the same. And if you want other moves that he's going to use a lot, put them in there, and then we'll decide later on. And I'm going to stick to 1 submission for Sig 2 or Fin 2. No submission for Fin 1 or Sig 1. I'm going to stick to that. That's been my rule for forever because I've seen 2 specific calls. I won't name names, but they had submissions for their number 1 signature and finisher, and they won almost all the time. and I don't want that. So yeah, I mean, and like Gav said, he went with 2 finishers and 5 signatures. That's fair because you got 2 that are going to finish a match, but you got 5 that are like your specialty moves.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be picky about that, but if I go in there,
well, if you want to get rid of something that's a auto win lull, I would highly recommend the crossface, unless they fixed it, because the crossface can outspeed everything in the game.
Yes.
Which like any crossface?
No, the crossface, the cripple or crossface can outspeed every move in the game, no matter what it is. The RKO, anything, it can outspeed everything.
Yeah, you can grab someone into. You can grab someone into that. Like, say, if I was going to punch you, or I was going to kick you, I should say.
Okay.
My legs out. You can grab my arm and put me into crossface before I connect with my foot.
Okay.
Yep.
Even though my foot's already on the way.
I don't know why they that fast, but it's ridiculously the fastest move in the game.
And that's another thing Goddess is pointing out. I have a submission championship for the women. So if you don't have a submission in your signature 1 or 2 finisher 1 and 2, it doesn't really matter that much. It helps to have one, but our first submission champ was Cougar, and she didn't have a submission in either of those spots, any of those 4. So,
yeah, because the game comes with default submissions.
Yeah, but will it help? Do you want to have a signature submission? Sure, have it a signature 2 or finisher 2. But that's one of the things I checked. As soon as I get your wrestler, is it at 100? Does it have personality traits? You know, I don't even like the fucking side plate thing because what was it, 22, where the side plates were glitching shit,
crashing everybody.
Yeah, so I don't even fuck with side plates because I don't want my belts to look different anyway. So don't even worry about side plates. Other companies, they can do whatever they want, but that's just the way I run my company.
Well,
and with full transparency, when I do my creations, I'm going to do a live stream with Shifty. I'm going to do a live stream with Cassie. So you'll see a male and a female, you know, from top to bottom, created how I want them for my company. Now, that doesn't mean anybody else's company, because there are many others that, you know, 90 to 85 they start out with, or 80 to 90 they start out with, or whatever.
One of the things that I'm interested in seeing is whether or not we are actually going to see super finishers.
Yeah, for AI,
AI. I have not seen that yet.
I haven't seen it yet either. And what I said last week, for those who weren't here last week, is there is an animation when they hit a super finisher, and it's around the rim of the screen. There's a flash. There is no way to turn that off. That was confirmed by Brian Williams of the dev team.
But with how hard it is to do a super finisher, I don't think even on Legend the AI is going to even try to go for it.
That's a question here. So do you guys think running an AI, like I'll use my company as an example, running my company the way it is, should I have my AI on Legend, easy? Is it going to make a difference? Odds?
I would test out matches. I would test out matches, simulate matches on every. Once you get your sliders, test them out on every difficulty, and what difficulty you like the best, that the matches look the best in, go with that. And that's pretty much.
That's fair.
That's pretty much all I can say. It's because sometimes you can get fantastic matches on easy, and that same match can be crappy on Legend.
I've always had Legend. For the last 3 or 4 games, I've always set it on Legend. Mac, that's a good one. He wants to be my champ and have side plates that say no side plates. Goddess, for you, I don't know if you caught the patch 1.3 thing. The logo limit for Create a Wrestler has been fixed, because I know she was concerned having only 16 images. Some people that use 30 to 40 images for their characters, with the Nike logo and the things on the fucking knee pads and shit that no one will ever see. But apparently that's fixed. Now, I also heard that mapping was weird on gear, like hitting that mapping button and try to cover something like you could. I haven't touched Create a Wrestler yet, so I don't know. That's something we'll touch base more on the 31st.
Interesting.
Yeah, I saw that. Freaked out about custom overlays, because she overlays a bunch of shit on top of other things to make it look a certain way, probably with transparencies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so opacity.
That was the layer thing was always going to get fixed. That was never going to sit there and be
sit for long.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad because I was like, some people are going to struggle to have only. I was starting to count how many were on my guys because I know Sunshine has a lot. But there was like someone had a fix where if you have a jacket on that has 8 images on it and you import it to a different one, it only counts as 1 instead of 8.
Yeah,
So
once I got that from you, that's when I knew it was a glitch, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to get fixed. There's no worry here. This was going to get fixed.
Hey, I'll be honest. I was starting to worry about my tattoo limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's some people
those
have
have
a
seen
lot
Mordred.
of tattoos. And when I do tattoos, when a lot of people do them, you do one for the top of the arm because it doesn't cover the whole arm. You have to do the same one on the bottom and try to make it look like it matches. So I was kind of worried about that as well. But that's something we've always, like I said at the beginning of the show, we're always going to have workarounds. And we're going to wrap this up because we're coming into the 2-hour mark. But I'm gonna bring Tiny on real quick. How you doing, Tiny?
Hey.
So your endeavors in the game, do you have anything to add from what you've heard and what you've experienced messing around with the game this week?
I've been messing around pretty much with the custom creation suite, primarily the signs. And the signs are pretty cool. What happens is when you go into the signs and image in your creation, it'll pull up and you'll push on the plus to add a custom image. Now, what you can do is you can do a custom sign with images that are already in the game, or like I was letting Goddess know in chat, you can, let's say, Goddess, I give you the logo that I made for you. You can upload that logo into the system with your uploader, put it on the sign, and add fonts or add things to it, or just leave the logo as is. However, you cannot change the background of the sign. I have a couple that have white backgrounds. I would want them to be on black. As of right now, I haven't figured out a way to do that, but at least you can put custom logos on signs.
Now, here's my other question as Beats kind of going through that right now while he's looking at it. He's gonna
okay,
put a
where did you
background
find
on.
that?
Go back out and show her.
So at the top where there's the plus button, right next to it, there's the background. And you select it, and then you can just pick what you want the background to be. So if you want to have a cardboard sign, there's a cardboard sign.
That's cool.
Beat,
now here's my question,
like
Tiny.
You, I love you. If not, I love you, dude. Okay, I'm gonna go back and
Tiny, here's a follow-up question. You've created some signs. Have you done any test matches to see those signs in the crowd?
No, and that's my next step, because I have done a couple custom created characters, one a woman and one a female, that I'm going to do in the My Rises, because I was told by Mordred that you can do, like, if you have a custom figure, you could put that custom figure through the My Rise. So that's what I've done. Yes. So next step will see that sign in action, because I do have two.
That's your homework, Tiny, for the 31st.
Okay,
now,
I'll do that.
And for all of us that do custom signs, anyone else out there, make sure if you guys do that, test it in play mode and in universe mode.
Right.
Because last year we got blank signs in universe mode. So I want to see these custom signs in action and see if we see them. But I do want to cut. Good, Tiny.
And with the images on your cause, that double image where, let's say, like for instance, one of my cause would have Death Ride on one leg and Death Ride on the other. When you put it on one leg and then do the same on the other leg, it would charge you. It does not do that anymore. It's one charge for both. So it's like they're not charging you double images anymore. So
the other thing is the transparency. Like for Redneck Avenger, he had USA on his chest. And you could see USA on his fucking back because of its bleeding through. I don't know. That's just not using logos, using letters. Like if you that was the same thing. That's why Bone Dog's custom outfit last year had that shiny material, because that's the only way I could get it where the words on his back don't show up on the front.
I found the way around that last year by embossing. Like, let's say I embossed like 60% and it bled to the back. I would go like 20, 30 on some, so it wouldn't bleed to the back or the sides, because I did have that issue too. So I would go down on the embossing more than I would usually do it.
It is a known issue. I saw that on a couple of streams, but that might be something 1.04 they might patch.
Yep.
So
fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
That's so we covered a lot today, and I'm glad that you guys joined to share. On the 31st, in a couple weeks, we're going to come back 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, we'll come back at the end of the month and talk about hopefully maybe another patch, what it's fixed, what we've tested, and probably get more into create a wrestler. We talked about arena a lot today, which I've got into. We talked about my rise, the showcase. I've tested universe mode out thoroughly, and I'll keep doing that. But I want to thank all you guys for your input. This is what I want this to be, is a learning tool for everyone to learn off of each other. So I'm going to close it out at that. And any shows tonight? I don't know if anyone's doing a show tonight. I'm not. I've done my second one. I'm tired.
My voice is, as people can hear, a bit deeper and more gravelly from being gone for so long and being back at the mic today. So no, not me.
Goddess is going live tonight. There it is.
There we go. There you go.
It's not confirmed, but I'm just making it up.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I would go live, but it wouldn't be for
she might not even be able
content.
to.
Goddess saving the day.
No, I'm just saying she's not. I'm fucking with her. She's not going live. She probably can't go live yet, but
I might have a play along with Diablo later. I'm not sure yet.
Sorry, Goddess. Azrael said that he was going to do a test stream tonight. They were going to do earlier in the chat. I think it was Azrael and Atticus are going to go do a test stream tonight. So pay attention, Bill. If you're in the DWS chat on Skype, I'm sure they'll post it there and stuff. So we can pop in there and watch them do some tests tonight. And anyone else doing tests for the next couple of weeks? And we'll come back on the 31st and revisit it all. And happy creating to everybody. And I'll see you in the streams. Thanks for each and everybody who hung out tonight. I've said how much I love this community and everybody involved in it. We're going to keep the unity in the community and have fun with this game as best we can, any way we can. Thank you, Beat. I'm glad we could share the screen. That definitely added a huge dynamic to the I thought about that before we got on. I was like, I wonder if you could share that and we could actually see some stuff. So thank you for that as well. And see you in the streams, guys. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Peace out, fuckers.
Get Blaised. Get Blaised. Blaised.